Just across the harbor from Kingston, Ontario, lies the largest of the Thousand Islands. Wolfe Island is 21 miles long and 7 miles wide. Originally known as Long Island, the British renamed the island in 1792 in honor of the achievements of one of their generals.
General James Wolfe was a British general famous for the Battle of the Plains of Abraham, which is near Quebec City. He defeated a French general named Montcalm. Both of them died in the battle. The British were victorious, and that was basically the end of French involvement in the country that was to become Canada.
General Wolfe, however, never actually stepped foot on the island named after him.
General Wolfe never got further up the St. Lawrence River than the Plains of Abraham. There are a number of Thousand Islands that are named for British notables. Wellesley Island, Carleton Island. There's a group that called the Admiralty Islands. They're all British military people, be they sailors or generals, and Wolfe was one of them. His major accomplishment, basically claiming Canada for the British.
Early settlers to the island were French. Once France was defeated in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759 and Wolfe Island fell under British control, the French left. British settlers looking for land with good fishing, hunting, fur trading, and farming opportunities gradually settled the island. Built in the early 1800s, the Old House Museum is the oldest house on the island. It was also once a school. Over the years, the house changed hands a number of times and was even moved once from its original location on Lambert's Hill just west of the village of Marysville. In 2009, it became the home of the Wolfe Island Historical Society. The museum holds many stories and artifacts that tell the history of Wolfe Island.
You can see just by the construction, people lived in this building 365 days a year. And as idyllic a place as Wolfe Island is in the summer, the wind and the snow and the ice howl through here in the winter, and being heated with a potbelly stove, I think it was probably a very tough, frugal existence.
The one-room schoolhouse upstairs is interesting because there's old desks. Down here, there's a number of artifacts. So we also have a display about Wolfe Island Ferry and the people that worked on it. So it's got there's lots and lots of stuff to see, and people that have come in, it's a little bit of something for everybody.
Another early resident constructed Ardeth Castle in 1823.
Ardeth Castle, and known to the locals as the Old Castle. And it was built for the Baron de Longueuil, Charles Grant, 25 rooms as a summer residence. The Baron de Longueuil and his wife Carolina Coffin are buried up the front road at Trinity Cemetery, very pretty little Anglican church which the Baron himself donated the land for. In 1925 it was being used to store hay, basically abandoned. And the legend, nobody knows for sure, was kids were smoking, playing with matches, and so it burned to the ground. Oh, I think that I got fascinated with it as a child, the idea of a baron on Wolfe Island, and a French baron at that, out in the middle of nowhere in lilac groves. It's a pretty romantic looking little place.
As interest in the Thousand Islands and along with it trade and tourism grew, people looked for a way to travel by boat through Wolfe Island rather than making the sometimes treacherous journey around the island.
The canal runs about 2.5 miles through the center of the island. The canal was built between 1853 and 1857 as a shortcut through Wolfe Island for mariners to avoid going across the head of Wolfe Island, because you have the full fury of Lake Ontario at your back. It can be a very dangerous crossing to get goods to the United States. It was meant to be a rail link, to link with railroads in Kingston and railroads in upstate New York to transport goods to New York City, Boston, etc. It was plagued with all kinds of failures, groundings, silting inns. Really it's a romantic story, but a failed experiment. It was never commercially viable. It never made anybody any money. The only people that benefited from the canal were the islanders themselves, who used to use it as a shortcut. You could get through it in a canoe even today, but it's fallen on hard times. It seems every 5 or 6 years there are movements around to open it up for canoeing, dredge it out, and I like to think it will be open again someday.
The wind that often makes the Great Lakes a perilous journey for mariners also has economic benefits on land as a sustainable energy source.
The wind turbines started arriving here in 2008. I believe there are 86 of them distributed up here at the head of the island. The most western part of Wolfe Island is where the turbines are, and that's where they catch the most wind. They are hooked up to Ontario Hydro, and they help feed the hydro lines.
Wolfe Island is only accessible by ferry. Visitors can catch the ferry out of Kingston, Ontario or Cape Vincent, New York for day trips or overnight stays. The Wolfe Island Ferry operates year-round from Kingston, Ontario and is free. Horns Ferry out of Cape Vincent operates during the warmer months and fees apply. Schedules are available online. If you are an American, you will need a passport or enhanced license to enter Canada.